everyone to Gems with me, Curry Glassell. If you're a first-time listener, wow, how did I get so lucky for you to find me? And today, as not usual, because we never have anything usual, because every day is different, every moment of your life is different, every 10 minutes of your life can be different, even every 10 seconds of your life can be different. So if you're tuning in for the 200,000th time since my back end says, ooh, my back end, what does your back end say this morning? My back end says, I've had 200,000 listens plus. So if you're one of those 200,000 listeners, hello out there in listener land. How the heck are you doing? And let's rock and roll today. And what can I contribute to your life, your future, and you, and where you would like to go? Where would you like to be unstuck? So, did you know that everything has a voice? The question is, are you willing to listen? And what do I mean by that? Yeah, it's maybe a little woo-woo. But if you think quantum physics is woo-woo, then you probably won't enjoy any of my podcasts or my classes or my seminars. I tend to be someone who acknowledges the universe for all its beautiful capacities. I love science, I love history. And when I came across the study of quantum physics years and years ago, it so intrigued me because it lined up with explaining the unexplainable. Have you ever had anything unexplainable occur in your life, in your daily life, in your yearly life, in your life of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years or more? And so for me, that's a big yes. And so I began to ask, what is beyond what I see? What is beyond what I've been taught in school? And for me, in many ways, it started with stories that my mother would read me about Merlin and Camelot when I was a little child. And like from the way she would talk about these stories and read them, you would think that dragons were real, right? And so I was like, whoa, really? And then there was this sort of church thing that occurred. I was always sent to church as a small girl, the Episcopal Church, which is not very mystical or magical, but there's this thing, this unknown, invisible, omnipresent something, energy, person, triad that we're supposed to just automatically, pledge allegiance to, like the flag. So that was kind of interesting. And then when I researched more about that, because church can be comforting when you're in pain and agony many times, and many people find solitude in church. I did for a season. There is this mystical side as well. I mean, if you study any of history of scripture, there is the Talmud in Judaism. There is, in Islam, in Christianity, the Gnostics, in Islam, the Sufis, in Buddhism, in Hinduism, all over the world, and I'm sorry if I forgot somebody's religion, there are sects that believe that there is a reality that we can't see. In the Christian church, it would probably be more like the charismatic or the Pentecostals. And so there was this wonderful mystical element to religion that intrigued me, and I studied religion. And I'm sort of going off on a roll here, but it's all based on, are you willing to go beyond what you see? Are you willing to open a door and ask a question beyond what you already know? And are you willing to receive energy? Are you willing to receive communication from that which you might consider inanimate? Like, say, what? Yeah. Have you ever heard there was a scientific experiment with plants that were talked to and classical music was played around, and plants where they had literally people yelling at them, but yet still watering, and they died. And then, of course, there's that famous experiment, which I just don't know too many of the details, just roughly, that Napoleon did with babies. And he did half the babies he'd never had them touched, and half were touched. And I guess when you're an emperor, you get to choose between life and death. But the babies that weren't touched died, and the babies that were touched all lived. So what's that about? What is all this about? Has anyone heard or been to the pyramids in Egypt? What's that about? Who freaking built those giant things that they still can't explain how they were built? I mean, there are mysteries. Stonehenge, I've yet to see that, but like I've seen pictures, you can Google it. Who put those there? You know, Easter Island. I mean, there's just strange shit all over the world, all over this beautiful globe. How did he get there? Was it some big omnipresent God person? God he person, God she person? Or is there something else going on? Are there other realities, other dimensions, other universes? So I would like to present this as a possibility to you. So are you willing to function in two realities or two universes? You know, and it's really funny, but because I had so much Christian teaching, Jesus actually said, be in the world, but not of it. That actually is in one version of the Bible. I've read 3. So if you are being in the world and not of it, how similar to that is know how to handle the practical side, to educate yourself about how this reality works, but be not of it. Live in a different reality. You can live in a reality that you determine and you create, and you are not subject to the banks, the government, and the mean people and the crazy people, whoever they are, that bother you or irritate you all the time in this reality. This is possible. This is something you can achieve. And the wonderful thing about Access and the Access tools is that they are wonderful things. They are all about asking a question. And questions lead us all to more awareness. Questions lead us to more choices. Questions can lead us to possibilities that open more doors to other possibilities. Questions can lead us to solutions that lead us to actions. Questions can lead us in a way that if we're willing to have a life that's an adventure, if we're willing to walk on quicksand, not just water, what kind of fun and what kind of joy can we create as we all together invite there to be a better reality? Is this reality working for you? Do you love your government? Do you love the way everything's going? Or would you like something completely different? Are you like just tired of all this inequality and poverty and sickness and terrorism and just government not paying attention to what's going on? If you are, the best place to start is by looking at yourself. Where in you can you make your life happier? Where can you laugh more? And where can you contribute more joy for you and for all those around you? As you become more joyful, as you become aware of how amazing you are, then it's like a stone in the water. You know, when you throw a stone, how it makes that ripple and the circle gets bigger and bigger and bigger. If you begin to enjoy you begin to have fun, you begin to get free from your stuck places, then it just radiates out into the world. So consciousness is about you beginning to unlimit you beginning to receive from everything, you opening up your receiver and your capacity to receive more joy, receive more money, receive more ease, receive more peace. What is that for you? And what baby step can you take today to create more ease for yourself? And one of the ways is by acknowledging everything has a voice. What have you asked by request the universe for lately? Have you even acknowledged that when you begin down a path of more conscious living, more living, acknowledging that you are a global citizen, the universe gets so excited. It's like, whoa, look at there. We've got a live one there. Holy smoke. Let's go down and help him or her out. What's going on down there? Oh, we want to get in on this action. Literally, you can request of the universe, I need your help. I'm doing the best I know how to do, and I can't quite yet have enough money to pay my rent every month. Can you please send information to me? Help me see more clearly. Help me hear more clearly. Help me perceive, know, be, and receive more clearly. What can I do different? Where can I go to receive more information? Where can I educate? What information am I lacking? And be willing to do whatever it takes. So you've got a twofold thing going on. You must make a demand that you will do whatever it takes, and then request, very kindly, request the universe become your partner in this different path, in awakening to a different reality, in awakening to the fact that you are valuable, you are important, and you can frickin' be part of changing the whole world and the entire way the planet works. When you change one point of view, you have begun a ripple effect all around you. Now, the fun part about the access classes is we talk about when we unlimit, when we destroy and uncreate a stuck point of view in a class, 5 people or more, we send a ripple effect, and at least 350,000 people who have been locked up by that particular limitation have an opportunity now energetically to also unlock. There is a huge effect. It is like, if you've heard of the butterfly effect, which is, to get the details of it, you'll have to Google it, but basically it's talking about a small thing. For instance, the example was given by, I can't remember the name of the scientist. There were so many scientists I researched over the past couple of weeks. I know that if you look up David Brower, who started Friends of the Earth in 1969, and then the other scientists involved. So the butterfly effect is presenting the idea that when a butterfly flaps its wings in South America, it actually potentially has an effect to have a tornado happen halfway around the world, somewhere in Asia or Russia. Say, what? What the F are you talking? And how does this help me pay my monthly bills? Okay, so are you willing to honor yourself? We're almost out of time. But to be practical, if you're willing to honor yourself, if you're willing to take 10% out of every penny you earn and put it aside, put it in a lockbox, put it in a safe, and never spend it, that's a beginning for you to begin to change your week-to-week finances. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother podcast, or that's a class. I do classes online, seminars, private sessions. Check out my website, CurryGlassell.com. Would love to facilitate you and get you on the path that you know you should be on. Okay, thank you guys so much for listening, and love you. See you next time.